Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SHOUTcraft Invitational. This is the 4th game in this best of 5 series, and I bring you the one and the only
Millennium Stephano.
He's in the pink trunks, and he is playing Zerg. He's to the southwest of the SHOUTcraft Plateau versus his opponent, the one and only
TT Esports Whitera.
And he is to the northeast of this particular map. He is, of course, playing Protoss right now. Stephano coming back with excellent aggression, backed up by 2 bases and a gold base. It was exceptional stuff. It was heavy roach play this time around, only transitioning into Hydra when he felt comfortable with doing so. And he also kept up on the upgrades this time. That was a real problem for him the last time around. Didn't help him out one little bit. Oh no, it did not. Okay, Whitera having a look around and seeing what you can see. This is the MLG version, which means you do not get these cross spawns, so you will find him here, and they are all the way across the map right there, as you can very clearly see. Whitera with that early pilot. Are we looking once again for Forge Fast Expand? Certainly a possibility. Considering the distance between the two, very real possibility. We will find out, however. He's not spending money as of yet. Could be Forge Fast Expand. Certainly, it is a possibility. Probe on the way down. We'll find out one way or the other. Once again, Stephano opening up the same way he tends to. Spawning pool first. Makes sense. And will he be able to get this? He actually might. Is he? His timing's off. No, he's not going to be able to do that. He's built the refinery. If he perhaps had not built the refinery there, he might have been able to get the hatchery down before that probe denied it. But he's actually done a little bit of a turnaround right there. Very sneaky maneuver. He gives the probe the slip. Nicely done. And he is able to gain that area right there. Fantastic stuff. Okay, now Stephano. He was able to break Whitera the last time. Will he repeat the same strategy this time? And more to the point, what will Whitera do against it? Stephano's proven that he can beat Grandpa Toss, and that is difficult in and of itself. However, Grandpa, what the hell is Grandpa? Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't quite make myself clear. Whitera is actually a bear. Playing this right now. People might say In Control is the bear, Protoss. No, in fact, Whitera is bear. A real-life bear. It's pretty horrendous. That's why he doesn't lose so often in tournaments. Usually because people are very, very concerned about being mauled to death. Bears are not known for liking losses, let me put it that way. They're not very good losers. And Whitera might seem like the nicest person in the world, but really, he is bear. He eats small children. Seriously, nobody can be that nice. You must have some kind of dark secret going on right here. That or he's some kind of spy. That's a possibility. You never know. I could just see that happen. Secret Agent Whitera. With his special tactics. We've yet to see too many special tactics from Whitera at this point, and he may have to vary things up a little bit against Stephano. Either that, or bearing in mind he did spend a long time looking at the replay in between. So there is the very real possibility that he's analyzed the build and he's well aware of what's going on. We'll certainly find out. So I have an X-Sword coming down right here, and a nice, safe and secure expansion for this. Will Stephano take an early third? I would certainly think so. It makes sense. He's not going to let Whitera sit on equal basis for that long. And SHOUTcraft Plateau, it's not bad for defending the third, but it's a bit nasty. Stargate. Special tactics indeed. 1-gate Stargate play right here from Whitera. A smart play, considering it's going to be very hard to scout. Look at that wall off. It's going to be very difficult. Now, if Stephano goes with the Roach build once again, Stephano will be shot to pieces. He's going to need to go pretty damn quickly into lair. Even a few Spore Crawlers isn't really going to help him if Whitera decides to go Mass Void Ray. Of course, he could also go with Phoenix. Double Stargate play right here from Whitera. And there's the 3rd gas. Not looking to pick up the 4th right now. He does have the money to do so. I wonder if he's doing that on purpose. It might be 3 for Phoenix harassment. Also a possibility. We'll find out very, very soon, won't we? That scout has been denied. Did he get up the ramp to spot that Stargate, I wonder? He spots the Stargate. If he clicked in time, he sees the Stargate. Look at the positioning of that. I wonder if Whitera's doing this on purpose. He's showing 1 Stargate, but in reality, he has 2. He could even cancel it. Not that that would make any sense, but there you go. And there's that 4th gas coming up. It is a Void Ray play. Roaches are on the way for Stephano, which will definitely not help against Void Rays. No way, no way. The lair will allow him to get Hydras out, and that's really what he needs, honestly, to deal with this. But that's Chrono Booster, double Stargate Void Ray attack. That is going to be difficult to deal with. The Overlord spots the second Stargate. He's got to be thinking Void Ray right now. He must be. That's got to be his assumption. Level 1 attack upgrade, Spore Crawler's coming down, and I would expect him to go straight into Hydras, really. There's a couple of other possibilities, but Hydra's the one that makes the most sense. And I wonder if Whitera is deliberately baiting that, because that placement seems a little bit too deliberate. That's not the kind of mistake that Whitera makes. It should have been obvious that those Zerglings could have got up the ramp and spotted it, so I wonder what his transition is. It doesn't look like he's going for a transition, because he's getting Protoss Air Weapon level 1. So it's very likely to be a mass Void Ray play, but surely he will not continue with it. With Hydralisks on the way, +1 missile attack, and with Stephano forewarned and forearmed against Whitera's Void Ray attack. He's only building one Void Ray right now, but the second one coming up, he's going for it. He really, really is. Will he be able to break it? Possibility. Whitera turns around. Has a look in there with the Void Ray. Does he see Hydras? He doesn't. He sees Queens. He has no idea about this Hydralisk den, and there's a macro hatchery coming up in there as well. Still going for that Roach Hydralisk play. This is curious here from Whitera. Very curious. The reason that I'd say that it's curious is that he's continuing with a mass air play when his opponent knows exactly what's coming. +1 missile attack upgrade, and Hydra's just popped up as well. These 3 Void Rays are probably going to get shredded here, especially with Queen support. That Evolution Chamber might end up getting cancelled, and that +1 weapon upgrade might not happen. Here come the Hydras. Whitera will be forced backwards, and he's going to lose one as well. Will Whitera continue with this? Whitera, what are you doing? Whitera, you're building a fleet beacon. Why are you building a fleet beacon? Whitera, why are you building possibly carriers in a mothership? Whitera, you are nuts. And I love you for it. I really, really do. Fleet beacon is on the way, ladies and gentlemen. That could mean only one of two things. Carriers or mothership. Or both. And in the meantime, Whitera looking to deny expansions. Those Hydras running out right now. The problem is, will Whitera be able to get up those forces in time? If Stephano just decides to go and attack him, then Whitera actually can't defend it. Army count supply, you can see it right there. However, Stephano is playing very defensively, and this is deliberate from Whitera. Carriers, ladies and gentlemen, on the way for Whitera. That's what that +1 upgrade was for. Oh no, Phoenixes might get sniped off. Very, very quick. Ooh, gotta be cautious, very cautious with that kind of play. Phoenix is on the way looking for a little bit of harassment right there. Whitera takes a third. An interesting position for it as well. 2 carriers on the way right now for Whitera. Here come the Void Rays, and he loses one. However, off creep, he's probably not going to get that. Void Ray is very, very powerful, especially with a +1 upgrade right there on the Prismatic Beam. Mothership carrier Void Ray for Whitera. He wasn't kidding about special tactics right here. The question is, will he be able to hold on long enough? Sniping off a couple of Overlords right here. Stephano is playing defensively. That is the worst thing he can do right now. If Stephano were able to attack, he could crack this base open. With carriers on the field, unlikely. And with a mothership on the field, very unlikely. Stephano is being tricked right here by Whitera. Whitera is playing mind games with him. Stephano is scared of those Void Rays. And as a result, Stephano is not attacking. And now the army supply count is starting to swing back in favor of Whitera for obvious reasons. 2 carriers now on the field. Another to follow it up. Mothership is being built, and the Interceptor's stocking up. Graviton Catapult as well for quick launch. Bear in mind that +1 upgrade is the best thing you can get for carriers. It's amazing. Because carriers have so many interceptors, and of course they shoot for small amounts of damage. And Stephano does know about the fleet beacon. That's why I'm thinking, why did he not attack? Because he learned about the fleet beacon a couple of minutes ago. Lots of Corruptors on the way to deal with those carriers. And the mothership, of course. But he is lacking an Overseer. He's going to need more than one, because they will be picked off very quickly by the Phoenixes on purpose. And look what Whitera is doing. He's sneaking around the side. Stephano is out of position. There are some Spore Crawlers, there are some Hydralisks. Will that be enough to deal with the carriers, more to the point? Taking a lot of ground firepower, and the Corruptors clean up one. Looks for the second. In the meantime, Stephano charging the line with Roaches. But the mothership cloaks everything except for that photon cannon. Can he break his way through? He's going to have to break his way through the gateway. He has no other real choice. Duckload Ra being forced back right now. Phoenix is trying to grab a few, and Stephano into the mineral line right here of Duckload Ra. Defense is not looking so great right here for Whitera. He's needed to train those interceptors as quickly as possible. And the armor of those roaches will certainly help against that kind of firepower. Here's the launch. Here comes the mothership, and the Void Rays looking for a cleanup right here. Wow! He can't see anything. He can't shoot anything because it's all cloaked. Whitera is cleaning up Stephano's attack force right now quite nicely. However, expanding here might be risky, because look at what's coming. Large force of Corruptors, mass force of Corruptors right now. Whitera sitting on 4 carriers, a mothership, and 3 Phoenix and 2 Void Rays. Level 2 upgrade for those carriers coming in right now, and of course everything else he has in the air. Stephano, in the meantime, expanding to his 4th base. There's the breakthrough. Whitera with a couple of photon cannons coming up right now. They're not complete, but Stephano is out of range. Those Corruptors are going to take huge amounts of damage, honestly. But, of course, carriers are massive units. The Corruptors will be able to chew through them. The question is how fast one carrier goes down immediately. There's the cloak. And there we go. That's going to be problematic right here. And a Vortex, unfortunately, misses most of the Corruptors with it. Mothership is down. 2 more Stargates on the way up. It's a defensive Vortex. He drives his carriers into the Vortex right there. Stephano is able to gain the air control he needs, and out they come, carriers popping up, but I don't think they'll be able to deal with those Corruptors. There's too many of them. There's a lot of firepower coming in right now. That corruption is brutal against that, and Stephano's mass Corruptor count cleans up. 16 Corruptors. He's barely got anything else on the field. I'm very surprised to see that Ra has not attempted to transition into something else. There are still 4 Stargates on the field. Whitera is pursuing this strat. He's got this 4th base up and he's looking pretty strong. Stephano is in no position to attack. That's the wonderful thing about it. Because Stephano is going so crazy with the Corruptor count, because he's terrified of what's coming in. I don't blame him, certainly. But because he's terrified of what's coming in, he's not able to build anything on the ground. The question is Stephano happy about that? He still hasn't taken his 5th base right now. Let's have a look at his economy. He's lagging behind Whitera. However, as you can see, Whitera is immensely behind in terms of the army count. Admittedly, a lot of those things can't actually shoot as a direct result of them being, well, Corruptors. You can have a look at that photon cannon chewing through the forces of Stephano right here. And in the meantime, he does have a roach force coming in. That's a lot of photon cannons he's going to have to deal with. He needs to pull back to the photon cannon line. That's 5 photon cannons. It should be able to chew through what Stephano is throwing at him. No problem at all. However, this is under grave threat. Zergly's coming in right now. Corruptor count is brutal. 20 right here. Another mothership coming in and no detection. This base is going to get cleaned up. Whitera is not going to be able to hold this by the looks of it. Stephano is able to clean it up without too much of a problem. Finally building some ground troops, as you can see. Whitera needs to build something. He's only got 2 carriers and 4 Void Rays on the field, which is not enough to hold off 20 Corruptors. Even with a mothership. Especially with a mothership. Those Corruptors should be able to 2-shot it with that much damage and firepower coming in. And now this main base is open. This is the MLG version, folks. That means the back rocks. And in he goes. Whitera is in an awful lot of trouble right here. More to the point, where are his carriers? Evidently not anywhere useful. Here they come. Here comes the Void Rays. Where are the Corruptors? They're holding back for the moment. Those Corruptors should be able to chew through his entire air force, however. That's what I'm really concerned about. And, of course, that mothership is still not on the field. An Immortal on the way, but all of Whitera's production getting cleaned up right here. This could get messy. Here comes the engagement. The Void Rays getting torn up very, very easily. Whitera will not be able to hold against that number of Corruptors, I'm afraid. GG, ladies and gentlemen, 2-all in this best of 5 series as Whitera goes for special tactics. However, Stephano is able to deal with it quite easily. 2 apiece. It is best of 5, and Stephano is certainly back in the fight. We'll be right back in just a few short moments, folks. Don't go anywhere.